I'm scared. What's the Wi-Fi
Oh, that's RC guest.
here? Okay.
So welcome back to the Woman Troll to Experience show. Sorry the delay. It's been crazy. For those who are watching right now, go to my Instagram live on Levon1021 for my next interview. She is a woman that I have known since Western University for almost 20 years. Wow, that's 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah, 20 years. We went to school together. We graduated, I think, the same year or a year apart.
Well, I was a little
You was 05.
challenged,
You
so
was
I
05,
was a year
right?
later.
So
Yeah,
I graduated 04. So
behind.
she's been a gospel choir. She's been the same person, the personality, everything now. She's involved with our purpose. She's one of my original people from Path to Greatness. I seen her son grow up from Path to Greatness to now. And she's just a woman of strength and resilience, overcoming a lot to be who she is today. Very, very, very supportive of me over the years, a long time. And I can't believe this. She said this is her first interview ever on radio. I'm shocked. All stuff she does. This is the first interview. So I want to welcome you up, Miss Charelle Wilson. How are you?
Hi, everybody. I question myself. I don't need nobody. No, I'm playing. Hi, everyone.
Yeah. So before we get into you, I want to ask this question about what happened this week with George Floyd, and now your son is kind of old enough now how to see it. I'm sorry, but how you feel about the situation and how it affects you as a mom, knowing that you have a black son growing up now, seeing this stuff now. How do you felt and how you think you'll talk to your son as you get older, ask questions about it, and he sees it now. So I know I want to get that serious part out because I think that's been pretty much like a talking point in terms of this week, and I want you to know your fault, especially our mother, a black son. So
that's right. Thank you for having me. First of all, again, hi everybody. As a mom, and I just said to you, you've known me for a long time, and you've known me like since my son was probably not even a year old. I don't think yet. Maybe he had just turned a year when we started doing Path to Greatness. You've known me way before that.
Way before, yeah.
So you've known me before I even had kids, before I became a mom. You've actually seen me go through a couple transitions. So it's an honor to be here with you and even to talk about this. Still shocked that I'm a mom at all. So being a mom of a young boy right now and to see what's going on, it's almost like disheartening because you have to have the conversation with your children. I also live in North Philadelphia, grew up in North Philly, went to Westchester University, came back, lived in different places, but now I live in North Philly. The young lady who lost her life, it was a teenager who lost her life last year. She lived right across the street from me. So I had to talk to my son then about violence and about, young people dying. And that was sad because it was a girl. So now to have to talk to him constantly about brutality, unnecessary police brutality, like not because it's guys that's out here wilding out and y'all pulling them over and you doing stuff because they tripping. You're just hurting them when they're not even able to defend themselves at all. That's not good. So as a mother, I am trying to continue to find the appropriate words, to share with him on how to explain this. You want to say, you don't want to have to teach your 8-year-old that he has to be careful already. And that hurts. To really sit here and think about it and to really think about having to converse with my 8-year-old about this is hard, but it's necessary. You kind of sometimes don't know if something's going to happen in the school, if the teacher is of a different race. We have issues like that too, and not to create another issue, but these are real things that go on. So that's what I think about. I think about the fact that if our officers are doing this to our people, then what are other people doing? And not to say just of other races, but how are other people going to then treat our African American males, no matter what age? Because they're not just doing it to older men, they're doing it to our teenage boys. There's a lot of videos that have been on social media that show young people getting harassed by cops, you know, and that it just breaks my heart. So at this point, you have to really find the right words to communicate with your child without scaring them. And that's the sad part. I'm trying not to frighten my child. I'm trying not to say, baby, your dad might get shot if he get pulled over while he working. You know, his dad's a truck driver. Who's to say he won't get pulled over? You know, black man, young. It's sad, but it's a reality. So it hurts. I can say it hurts. One of my white friends actually inboxed me yesterday. Somebody I went to Westchester with, and she was like, bro, you know me, like, you know me. Would you consider me a white supremacist if don't agree with the riots that are going on right now? Do you consider me a white supremacist? And I was like, what? And she was like, because some of my white friends are actually like mad that I don't agree with the riots. So they're calling me a white supremacist. And I'm like, that's deep. It's not even black people calling her a white supremacist. It's white people that are calling her a white supremacist. And I was like, I definitely don't see you as a white supremacist. I understand people who don't agree with the riots. It's very tricky. It's very tricky, you know, because again, you want to stand up for something, but then at the same time, the way I look at it, I'm destroying that which I dwell in. So why then go and destroy, even though I'm mad, I need to take a stand, but I'm still destroying my foundation. Like, whether I'm mad at America or not, this is where I am right now. This is where I'm planting my feet. So you have to move in wisdom. And that's something that we need to teach our children. And that's what I'm big on right now. Though my son is 8, I am trying to teach him how to move in wisdom. Levine, also, you said you were going to be talking about like trauma and childhood trauma. I've been going through a lot of that and thinking about a lot of that too. And making sure I teach my son how to identify his emotions, how to communicate properly. And this can all come into play when it comes to being approached by the cops. Teach your children how to talk. It's not to say you got to try to sound white. No, sound educated. Sound like you got some sense when you talk to these officers. You know what I mean? It might make a difference. I hate to have to say that, but I'm talking to you right now. I'm an educated woman. Yes, I'm brown. I can get ghetto and ratchet too, but teach your children how to communicate. There are ways to communicate without lashing back. If you got to lash back, God be with you. But there are ways to communicate. So it's really important just to teach your children, your loved ones, your husbands, your sons, your dad. Some of our fathers, you know, are going to go through this, you know. So it's just important to let black men know that you love them, you know, even the ones that get on your nerves. Let them know you love them and teach them how to communicate. Right. That's my thing. Communication is key.
And you spoke about the woman saying that they love black men dearly. I said that too in the beginning of also about George Floyd, to show that black women need to say that black men are violent every single day, not only when a tragedy happens. Right. I see that so many times. Black women put posts up, black women love me too, but I only see that when it's a tragedy. You don't see it on regular Thursday or something where they're basically, we need to hear that daily. Because
that's true.
Daily, you know what I mean? I'm not saying all women are doing it, but some of them are doing that. It's only posted that when someone gets murdered for no reason. It's not like on regular basis. Even dead people get your nerves, because our men, they be violated daily by women. Even though, like you said, they might get on your nerves sometimes, but I
got a baby daddy who get on my nerves.
Right, but he's still
has to still try to find that encouragement.
Yeah, encouragement. Because we need that. We need that because we are targets. You know what I mean? We are targets every single day. Even by other races, even by our own culture, we are targets.
Exactly.
So we got to be mindful. We got to understand that. So I know this is a serious thing, but it's got to be serious because you got a black son, and that's what we're trying to do next year. And I got something to talk to you about too, about PGG. So we're doing stuff. So but we won't get about you. So who is Charelle Wilson?
So Charelle Wilson. First of all, I'm 39 years old. I live in North Philadelphia. No, I'm just kidding. I am a big ball of goofy. But serious too, definitely. Charelle Wilson went to Westchester University, bachelor's in communications. I tried the psychology thing. Did not quite work out. So it's interesting because right now, while we're in quarantine, I feel like God has been giving me a psychology degree without reading any books. Having to sit around, you know, experience some things, kick back some things, you know, watch some things, not always speak on things. I'm learning a lot. But so who I'm a lover, you know, of course a mom first. I just love people. I I'm here to talk about the hosting and the comedy and things like that. So I host events, I'll host fashion shows, I host beauty pageants, I host business seminars, professional seminars, workshops, anything that people need someone to speak up for. I feel like that's who Charelle is. So it goes beyond a job. It goes beyond hosting a party. I do birthday parties. When people need, someone to work the microphone at their, you might have had your parents' anniversary, something really big that people get dressed up for. It could be something really small. I come out, I'll do your games for you, even baby shower, something as simple as a baby shower. I've been hired to do. So because I just want to bring joy to people. I'm a joy carrier. I'm a lover. I'm a laughter carrier, and that is what I exude. That is what I carry. That's what I bring with me, when I come out and do what I do. So I've been hosting shows for a while. Thank God for Levon even being able to get into Path to Greatness. That's also who I am. I started out with Levon going into middle schools, talking to kids about themselves, just to encourage them about motivation, accountability, responsibility, having confidence in who you are, just everything, just being an individual and just really, learning who you are as a person and not being afraid of who you are is the key. So that's who I am. I am here, I feel like, in this world to genuinely love people, to genuinely allow people to be who they are, and to just make sure that they know that is real love out here. It's real genuine love out here, no matter what you've done. I can't say I'm baby Jesus because he's way, he's bigger, but I really allow people to just be who they are in every phase of their lives, and we can grow through it together. So that's who I am. I've been told I'm like a breath of fresh air. So actually, I guess I'll mention that I went ahead and started my business. Okay. I wasn't going to say anything yet because my website's not ready, but it's getting worked on. Everything is getting worked on now. I went ahead and I started my business. It's called A Breath of Fresh Air, LLC. So this will actually be a home care agency. I did support coordination for about 2.5 years. Support coordination is basically like a liaison between, an individual in the community, like your senior, someone of your elder community, and the government and the state with insurance and things like that. I was the person who helped them get their wheelchairs, get their food, make sure they're getting the doctor appointments, all that stuff, go out to their houses, do assessments and everything like that. So I've always, again, been a giver of joy, a lover of people. I've always helped people out. I actually became my mom's home health aide when I didn't have a job. I was a college graduate, had my son and everything. Started working the welfare program, work to earn, humble myself, get a little bit of help, get insurance, get a little bit of food stamps, things like that. So I had to, you humble yourself. It's okay. I worked all my life, so why not let him help me out a little bit? That was my mindset. I take everything with joy. Everything that God gives me, I take it, So I actually ended up getting a job as a residential advisor. So I was running a household for people who had intellectual disabilities. So I had to, of course, handle the schedule for my staff, but I had to do the hands-on too, help them get dressed, shower, feed them, make sure they went to work if they had a job, make sure they, were able to clean up the house. Some people couldn't function, some people could. So I did all that. Absolutely fell in love with that field and wanting to really help people in their homes. I got to a place where I was like, okay, I don't really feel like necessarily doing all the washing and stuff anymore. I did it for my mom. That was it. I just want to do my mom, but I still did it with other people too, other agencies. Finally started doing support coordination, and I was like, this is what I want. I want to be that middle person who is there to fight for somebody, So if you have like your grandmothers and your aunties and even younger people, there are people the age group of 18 and up who we can serve. But we're going to be there to come into the home of your loved one or your friend or whoever. Make sure they eat. Make sure they eat right. Make sure that they're washing up. Make sure their hair is done. Make sure that they're doing activities. Some people like to do crossword puzzles, things like that they don't get to do every day. We're going to provide those services for everyone and make sure that they get the best services and that they feel love. There are some people who suffer with dementia, Alzheimer's, and things like that. I am training my staff to make sure that you make them feel comfortable, that you help them to, because sometimes people with dementia will remember things from the past, maybe a favorite church song or something like that. So I'm going to really be training my people to really know what they're doing, you know, with people and understand the psychology of people. No, it's not a school. No, I'm not certified to teach psychology yet, but this is important, and I want to make sure that my staff and everything that I do, we really look into psychology, logic, and the spirit. So we're going to cover all those aspects and make sure that people just really feel like their life is like a breath of fresh air. So, and look, right now, everybody walking around with masks on. So the whole world is literally looking for a breath of fresh air right now. So I hope to be able to provide that. That's who I am.
Wow, that's
a lot. Sorry.
That's a lot. But it's wonderful. So we go back to Path to Greatness 7 years ago. Wow, that's a long time. Wow. What made you get involved with me?
Why did I get involved with Path to Greatness? Path to Greatness. Just off the rip, if you are saying, I got some kids, I need people to come talk to.
Yeah,
who can say no? If you say no to going out talking to kids, you need to get on your knees and pray. There is no to that. Of course, you know, you got to work with your schedule, but it's like, you want somebody to come out and talk to some children just to motivate them and encourage them. Absolutely, I'm there, because I too was that child, you know, not to say I had a bad life or anything, but I went through a lot. I've seen my parents go through things. You know, you look at domestic situations and drugs and different things like that, and you don't realize what people have been through. So I have to say yes, because people don't realize what I've been through. So at this point, this gives me an opportunity to just share, you know, to share my love and to share my strength, actually to share my what I've overcome, and to inspire these young people that they really can do anything. Like, there are young people starting businesses, people 14 years old, 12, you know, I'm going to start my son, his first business, I think when he's 10. I'm trying to wait until he's 10, but it might happen when he turns 9. I want him to be okay. I don't want him to feel like he has to hold back from anything. I want him to know how to communicate. I want him to know how to identify his emotions. So I'm feeling blessed to be able to come out and teach other children how to do that. So that was why I got on with Path to Greatness.
I remember the first time he came, it was a second session with them, and we did the first one in January. And
I had Asher with me, right?
Yeah.
I used to lug him around in that car seat.
Yeah, car seat. I think it's about one, and then I think the first time we did it, it was like what to expect. I didn't know what to expect. I thought the kids with T.I. I brought Jacob, I brought Jake there, and what's her name? Shamika, and Jasmine Burton, and they came down, and other people, and I didn't know the profound impact till that Monday when they came, where the kids was like, "It's cousin Vaughn, when he coming back?" I was like, "Oh man, I gotta do something." The guy got to me, so I had no website, no business plan. It was just a workshops. Second time you came around, talking about love. I think love, relationships, Valentine's Day, and then we trying.
My birthday too.
Yeah, I think it was your birthday. I think then you watched your son, and like all the girls was like, Asher, like Anaya, what's the name?
I can't remember because I'm old, but it was a bunch of.
Yeah, it was a bunch of them. It was like really crazy, but they fell in love with your son, and they were like, "Can I carry a hell, Asher?" Oh, it was so cute. Really, but the kids were turning around. They were doing a 180. Their monsters really got on the path to where, okay, I need this man cares about us. He wants to see us win. Yeah, I still connected with Amira. So I connected to her, and she's about graduate college next year.
Wow.
So it's going to be. So I plan to go to Atlanta for graduation. So
I want to go. I'm trying to put on the video. Sorry.
Yeah.
I would love to go.
Yeah. So
that's going to be awesome.
So
well, if you get to have a graduation, right? With
all hold on. I missed a call. Someone was calling before I didn't know why. What was I doing? Okay. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry about that, y'all. So she was 8th grade at the time. So now I'm going to high school graduation. Now she's about to go to college. I'm at a girl's side. I was like totally different graduation mindset. Then mentor the whole year. Now I'm about to mentor her best friend.
Wow.
For she graduated, she are really close. And I see that her and her, I'm going to try and mentor them to get her on board. Mm-hmm. So I got an opportunity for you to talk to her afterwards too. But It's been a blessing. You was there at the beginning.
I still talk to some of the girls on Instagram too.
And you was there. We got our documentation with Dr. Proctor.
Yes.
I know that I was crying because I never fired a nonprofit. I was supposed to be a thing, and then God told me it was right next year. That's right. That 2015. No, 2014, and then God was like, "Do it this year." And then now
don't wait, right?
Yeah, over 30 schools, over 500 kids. Now we're doing free virtually. Now, unfortunately, we love being in person, but virtually we got to do virtually because our kids need it more than ever, And
but it's a blessing.
It's a blessing. Now we're trying to evolve next year, do a more clothing line out, trying to get right people help me do that. Also get pencil pens or get book bags.
Sorry everybody. My Facebook is playing back. I'm so sorry. What is going on? Oh, that is too funny. My Facebook decided to play back. I'm sorry.
So basically we just been really blessed to have you because you was at the beginning. You was there at the beginning.
That's what I was going to say, Levon. I really came on this because I believe in you.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, in the beginning of the morning, as people say, you're not going to do anything unless you believe in that person. So before I can actually say, okay, I want to go speak to kids and do this and that, I'm going to do that anyway, but I'm representing you. You trusted me enough to represent you. And you're also representing me. We represent each other when we go out to these places together. Doing Path to Greatness with you, I always knew I wanted to do that, public speaking and all that. I always loved it. It gave me purpose. It gives you
singing
purpose.
and comedy now. So
all of that comes in. That's what I said. So you've actually encouraged me way more than you know. Of course, I sang. I've done plays and all that. Before Path to Greatness, I've done things. But that gave me a more sure foundation. Right. It gave me the practice to speak in public, even if it's to children. But you still got to know what you're talking about.
That's true.
Because these kids today, they smart, okay?
They smart.
These kids today and back then, they was like, okay, I hear what you're saying, but, so you got to know what you're talking about with them, too. You got to know how to speak. You got to know how to communicate,
and do things reach them because we do math and science.
Right.
They do
talk about life.
So life, because a lot of your life affects your academics. So, but then as we got older, we evolved more to mental health now. Back then, because it wasn't as big. It was there, but it wasn't as big as it is now. So, and I feel going next year, calendar year, the school year coming up, we got to focus on trying mental health more than ever. Our kids going back to the school building and having wearing a mask and being shared by plexiglass on us. I don't know what it looks like, but it looked like next year. But
that starts now. Look,
we doing virtual thing. I'm gonna talk to you more online about that.
I think it's great. I want to say, I hate to cut you off. I have been on different empowerment lines. Hopefully some of the people from the empowerment line and from church are on here. Hi, everybody. I hope you made it on. I have been constantly just testifying that, yes, this quarantine has been crazy. I lost my uncle during this quarantine. I lost somebody dear to me. I love them dearly. Amazing man. He gave me a brand new couch a couple months ago. So I praise God to have something sentimental from my uncle. But although people are losing their lives and everybody's going a little crazy, there's been so much blessing in this quarantine because you being able to do Path to Greatness and kids being able to get that information while they're home, they can then directly apply it. Right. Instead of you having to come out to a place, sit down, and let somebody talk to you, you might lose it. Right. You might lose it. Even though they're coming out, they still lose it. Right. But now, they got Mr. Levine right at home. And they can say, "Oh, I learned that, Mom. You know what, man? Go right to the kitchen. Go right to the kitchen. Talk to grandma. Talk to dad. Talk to uncle, best friend. Right. So there's a blessing in this quarantine. And there's a blessing in the sit down. You know what I mean?
That's why I've been focused on one God more. Get everybody focused on
on God and the Spirit.
And focus on your mental health because the devil tells you you're by yourself.
I'm going through that right now. Yeah. I have an 8-year-old son now. Yeah. He came in schools with me before he even started school. He was in Path to Greatness.
Yeah, he was.
So now we actually have a little academic challenge, right? Because mommy always been that one too. You get bored, I'm asleep. I've been like that since I was a kid. That's why I talk so much. Because I'm trying to keep my own attention. Not even trying to get your attention. I'm keeping my own attention.
Right.
But my son has had some struggles, and he's only in 2nd grade. And I'm still like, ooh, 2nd grade, I don't even anxiety kicking in. I'm like
the man was still school was different than we had in 7th grade. Yeah, it's like more advanced, but like more strategy. But now back then,
but like
more
you said, you said something important that mental health plays a big part. And now you got
more than ever.
I told his dad is really like, you know, you got to make him read every day. You got to do this, and I agree with that. But I got my own little things I'm working through too. So we working together. Me and Asher work together. But his dad has been like, and I'm like, dude, right now I'm focused on my baby mental health. I'm focused on him knowing he know how to communicate. I'm focused on him understanding that, you know, he doesn't have to succumb to possible bullying and things like that. These are certain things that sometimes we don't teach our kids. We're teaching them to read. He knows, he get that. Guess what? In his little games he play, he learning how to read. Okay?
Social and
emotional is so important because we're trying to figure out what's going on and they don't know how to explain themselves. It ain't just babies.
Right.
Kids are saying, oh, I might be mad at this, and it's really not that. Mm-hmm. So I have been able to identify different things in my own self and my child and other kids, other adults, and that's what I'm focused on. You know, he gonna be good. We getting the math. We do that every day.
Right. Yeah.
You know, but you got to make sure your child knows that they can come to you. You got to make sure your child knows that they are able to express how they feel. Because some kids will lash out because they can't talk to you.
Right.
Because you're always giving them your kickback and your alternative. And you don't let them talk.
And parent, for me, you got to be approachable. You got to be available. You can't be like...
Remember to be approachable.
And be available. You know what I mean? With them. Sometimes you got to just listen. That's it.
And a lot of us don't know to do that because our parents may not have done it.
That's
the thing. Even with my, you know, with me going through some childhood things, my mom always let me know she was there. Always. She always let me know.
Right.
She always let me know God was real. She acknowledged God in all ways. And everybody loved my mama. My mama, everybody. So she's amazing now too, thank God. But even through addiction and struggles and things like that, she loved so heavily and people flocked to her.
Right.
My friends who had houses and cars and this and that flocked to my mom because of her love. So love is so key. And you have to remember too, don't be so hard on yourself, but also remember that you are struggling with things from your childhood that may affect why you teach your kid the way you do or why you treat your child the way you do. So sometimes don't be so hard on yourself as a parent. Yep. Remember, you got some stuff you went through too. Learn how to identify it and then deal with it.
While they're young, that's why they got this trauma with the health. You got to address it while you're young.
But some people don't know that.
Or address it while they're fresh.
When you're able to identify
it, ask for help. And
address it.
I'm trying to get my youth, people on common across, don't carry to adulthood. And you get the wrong relationships, the wrong people, and then you run the wrong opportunities, you know. So I mean,
look, we go through that as adults, right?
I'm in therapy twice.
See?
I'll go therapy.
Wrong with it.
I'll go therapy again.
Amen.
Because I told you I'm about to get married. I want to get married next year, so I want to get rid of my past before I bring it to her. I don't want to
misdirect your energy. That's what I've been saying.
I don't want to carry that to my wife, you know. So
and don't get rid of it. Learn from it.
I mean,
you won't
learn from it. If I can test it, I will learn how a better way to like control it. Yeah, when someone
comes up. Identify, so you can be like, all right, pause. Let me stop here before I do that.
Yeah.
Or maybe I should approach wifey differently today.
Yeah,
you're going to also think about her.
Yeah, her needs.
I would go to look. I'm telling you, I ain't married yet, but I think people have been telling me I could be a marriage counselor, even though I'm not married. I'm about to be asking people, the next person I date, if I get into another relationship or whatever, what is your mental health background? And I'm not saying that to embarrass you. I am saying that on a serious note.
That's one of the first questions too. Your mental health.
I need your ID, your real social security number, and your mental health background. Amen. And it's nothing wrong. You have every right because they're, again, even if they don't understand they got trauma, that will probably help them realize.
Right.
They got to work on some things.
And then you're like, oh, I didn't know that.
So on your first date, everybody, I do want to play matchmaker too, y'all. Check me out. I'm serious. I got a lot going on.
So what you got going on?
Well, right now we in quarantine, so I did a little virtual comedy show for Infinite Wonders. That was a couple weeks ago. Infinite Wonders Ministries. Church is at 11:45. We have Zoom. If you want to holler at me, come to my Facebook. I'll give you the Zoom codes. Beautiful, beautiful services on Zoom. Beautiful. Pastor Derek Wright, First Lady Wright. And Sister Evangelist Frazier, Karen Frazier on Saturdays, her empowerment line. I post all this stuff on my Facebook. Charelle Wilson, Charelle, Wilson, My Instagram is itsrell212. Okay, ITSRELLE 212. I'll begin to post things more about, you know, the comedy and everything. But I did a little snippet of a comedy show. It was like an open mic comedy night. So that was wonderful. I did a gig last year. I did a baby shower. I even, look, you can do comedy at a baby shower. Who knew? I got paid. I got paid for it. They actually called me and said, we want some entertainment, something different. So I did a little comedy portion. It was really fun. I tell church jokes. I tell ladies' night jokes. I can do everything, yo, for your children, but I will do comedy. I'm thinking about getting online and doing some kind of virtual comedy show, whatever. But I have a couple of videos I'm going to have coming out. Y'all know I'm goofy. I'm crazy. I dress like Cardi B. I call myself Cardi C. Praise the Lord, everybody. How you doing? Since we're on the Romans 12 show, you know, I do talk like Cardi B, but for Jesus, okay? Wow. So, again, I'm a show hostess. I host your events. If you have, like, a fashion show, I host galas, beauty pageants. But I will also host your baby's birthday party. I have face paint, all of that available. And I have other companies that I'm attached to as well if I'm not available. So please contact me for everything that you guys need to just bring joy. Even if it's something that I didn't mention, I'm sure that I can help you, okay?
Yes.
I'm sure.
Sorelle, thank you so much.
Thank you.
That part of the show is a long time coming, you know, and I appreciate your commitment and support throughout the years. Pathway is going to evolve the whole level.
Open up a school?
Yeah. Yep, maybe. Maybe.
If Levine don't open the school, I'm going to buy the building to open the school.
Yep, yes.
It's going to be called Path to Greatness School.
Yeah,
so y'all get y'all kids ready, even if it's virtual.
Yeah, it might be virtual.
Or the counseling. I talk too much, sorry.
Yeah, it might be virtual school. We never know. But we're going to make sure that you stay safe. You know, please stay safe out there. I know there's a lot going on. With protests going on in Minnesota. Please be safe.
Don't destroy yourself.
Please don't destroy the community. Please be safe. Be mindful of people who might have symptoms. You know, the corona's still out here. You know, make sure you still wear a mask. I know it's a little warmer than usual, but please wear a mask.
I want you to stay home. Look, stay home.
Oh, stay home.
So you ain't got to worry about that, right?
And then next week, we'll be in June already. We'll be in June next week. So please stay safe.
Having heat flashes.
And Charelle will come back soon and down.
I'll be back to let you guys know about the grand opening.
Yes, exciting business. So
grand opening. I'm excited.
So for those, again, thank you for so much for watching and see the videos later. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday and just be blessed and be safe.